extravaganza. That's right, you found the self-proclaimed original Twitch TTRPG stream that lets you shake up our world. Now pay attention because this is how it works. If you'd like to add some loops to this roller coaster ride of a show, you're gonna need fate chips. Now these magical loyalty points can be earned just by watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or just engaging with us in the chat. It's like free money, Pete. With your fate chips, you can use your powers as an architect to heal your favorite players, summon items that will make their adventure a lot easier, or a lot harder. You can even make players say or sing outrageously silly things. Think of those possibilities. But wait. There is more. You can also toss our unsuspecting heroes into random encounters that will leave them sweating, strategizing, and questioning their life choices. All it takes is a quick redeem command in the chat. You choose the item or action and the player you want to mess with, and we'll take it from there. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves for a mind-blowing spectacle of storytelling and mayhem. We've got adventure, we've got drama, and more surprises than a clown car at a kid's birthday party. So let's go!
And thank you so much for that, Felix. As always, very informative, very helpful. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another stream from the Architects of Fate for Conan, Adventures in an Age Undreamed of, by Modifius Entertainment. I feel like I'm going to be stuttering a little more than usual tonight, so bear with me. I promise it gets better. No, I don't promise it gets better. I promise it continues to maybe get better or maybe get worse or stay the same. We'll find out as we go, but you'll only find out if you stick around. Tonight, we have a fantastic cast with us tonight here for your entertainment, and ours too, because we love doing this. First off, I would like to bring about our moderator, Nat, the man behind the scenes, keeping things moving, keeping us running. After that, I would like to start introducing some of my players. Let's go left to right, bottom to top, because I can. So first off, one of my first characters that we've got to introduce for you tonight is our zealous and well-educated witch hunter, Aberta. Following that, we have our enigmatic, diplomatic, something else-omatic that I'm blanking on several words, but I'm sure there's a bunch that could be thrown in there. Dang, the emissary from far off Katai. Next, we have our half-burned, scorched, and slightly still bloody mercenary queen, the Silver Slayer herself, Xenia. We have our rugged, forward wilderness scout and Bosonian archer, ranger of the wildlands, Thornicius. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, for my players at least, we have the deadly, lethal, efficient Vera, the assassin, and her cursed teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I'll be playing the role of Crom, the god who cares not for your worries. So tonight, we find ourselves, after having finally escaped from the cursed cave, going through multiple levels of varying terrains and threats and mazes, and everybody rolling critical failures. It was amazing. I loved it. But after touching an artifact that they were later revealed to be a piece of a sleeping god, or maybe a dead god, or is there a difference? They were then transported on a wicked acid trip and woke up in what appears to be a fresh meteor crater with no meteor to be found, just the rising hand of a giant statue, a giant obelisk, obscurist, the obsidian, a giant obsidian statue, a titanic hand reaching out. Just the hand and forearm itself was over 30 feet tall. As they come climbing out of this crater, they find themselves in the mountains. Don't know where, don't know what mountains, don't know when mountains, but they find themselves in the mountains. To the east, there exists more of these rugged, sharp, massive mountain peaks, snow-capped, trees missing on some of the tops of them. To the west, they have a deep, deep ravine and a cliff that would be certain death to try to jump down. And beyond that cliff is a river, and then a deep, deep, dark forest as far as the eyes can see there. And here the party is, tucked up under some trees. And here is where we begin. Hey, Goliath! Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. So far, the weather is pretty, just went bad.
He's been saving up for that.
Here we are in this mountain. On the side of this mountain, there's some trees around, there's some rocks around. As you wake up, it seemed fine, but you see coming over the mountains wisps of clouds and smell ozone and other things upon the air. Looking around, you know you can't go east and try to climb the mountain peak. Or, I mean, you could, but it probably wouldn't be a good use of your time to try to just climb straight up the side of the mountain. And you know you can't go west because there is a deep ravine and a cliff that your ropes don't reach to the bottom of. Oh, wait, you don't have any ropes. We found that out at the Cursed Cave. Leaving, roughly speaking, to the north or to the south as your two primary viable directions. You find yourselves tired, sore, wounded, some of you. I did look up the rules on wounds and healing again. They're a little bit different. At 4 wounds, you are incapacitated. At 5, you are dead. Once you are healed, once you are like bandage of a wound, you no longer suffer the negative effects of the wound. But if you take another wound, you get them both back. Even if you just take one more wound, you'll take them both back. So you have been bandaged, but you are not healed, Zinnia. So you don't have any penalties, but if you take an extra wound, you get double.
Stay behind somebody.
Yeah, so you guys find yourselves tired, sore, wounded, low on supplies, very cold, up on the side of this mountain.
I'd like to roll a survival and see if I can't find us some food on our way to some shelter.
So there's kind of 2 directions, main directions that you could try to go in. You could try to go in the others, and I'll let you try. But you can kind of try to go northish or southish is kind of the way to go at this time. Right now, you don't have really anything to say other than at the bottom of a ravine, there is a south-running river, and that's about the only direction-ish that you have.
Party, I would like to say north, but I really don't have any reasoning for it. Other than there might be some woods that way. It's upriver. We could follow the river, or at least follow this ridge until it either dips down to the river or goes up and becomes impassable. Up to you guys. We can look at the map. We do have a map.
You do have a map. That is a true statement. So for For this case, it'd probably be a survival check. There's not like a map reading skill. It would be a survival check for reading on the map and hoping to figure out where you might be. That does not look like a success, though. Actually, that looks like a critical failure to me.
I look up from the map and my eyes are like this. You know, oh yeah, it definitely looks good there, guys. Real good.
So you know what? Highs or lows? Highs. Somebody pick. Don't care. One person pick. Highs or lows.
Low.
Okay. Good. You chose well. As you see him like studying the map and like pointing around and doing one of these things, and 30 seconds go by, a minute goes by. I've got this. I'm figuring this out. I swear. You realize he is looking at the map upside down. Obviously, he cannot read the words in Ophiran. He doesn't speak Ophiran. So he was just kind of going by eyeballs and had the map completely upside down. I will allow somebody else to make a survival check.
Somebody should have put a rose on there, you know, north, south, east, west. I would have known then.
You're never mind.
Hey, you're the one that drew the map from a copy.
Exactly.
Or no, actually, I think it was Abertac that drew it from a copy.
Nobody would have given me that idea because I'm not the studious type here.
Yeah, I think Abertac was the one that drew it from a copy. And yeah, we did start getting echoes. If you can mute and unmute your microphones. All right. Let's see if that clears it up. Usually that clears it up. All
So,
right, try unmuting again.
do we want to try going?
Testing. 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 Testing.
Try just disconnect and reconnect real quick.
I wonder if it might have something to do.
Hold on.
No, not you guys, Mike and Andy, Bill and April. Yeah, not you guys, them. We're good. We love the technical difficulties around here. We're great at solving them.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Are you sure it's plugged in?
No.
All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. Sounds good to me.
1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1.
1, 2, 3. Okay. What were you saying?
Well, so you said the water in the river is flowing southwards. I was just going to
Yes.
offer a suggestion. Maybe we head southward and try to reach coastline.
Well, we're looking to get into the
Um,
mountains.
If you are still in the Ophiran area, that is mid-continent. That you are very, very far away from any
just
from any.
like going
If you look at the Twitch stream, you'll see like right beside Xenia is the word Koth. Koth is south of Ophir.
Mm-hmm. On roll 20 is a picture of Ophir.
Yes, Roll20 has a picture of Ophir. You'll see Koth beneath Ophir, and then after Koth is Shim, and then there's the ocean.
Both Koth and Shim are not very friendly territories, if I remember correctly.
Koth isn't so bad. Shim gets a little shady.
Shim Shady? He's the real Shady.
But I will allow again somebody else to roll a survival check to study the map and figure out where
Who's
you
got
are.
a good survival roll? Or chance.
Other
Oh, the
Shim
survival
Shadys are
roll.
just imitating.
Let's see. We have a 9 and a 1. We have a 9 and a 0. We have a 12 and a 1.
That one.
And a 10.
Yeah. I'm
So
a 10.
Xenia is probably the one that should roll, but she's kind of the one that just typed in the last one and has been getting a lot of crit failures lately.
Ooh, that was close.
There she goes, a 12 and a 0. That is no more successes. You start studying the map too, and shit, maybe he did have it right side up. Who knows? both to the north and to the south directions seem relatively traversable terrain. Let's see.
I still say north.
And nobody asked you.
I know. But let's get going because I kind of see some tentacles falling from the sky.
The north.
Hey Nat, I think the Roll20 isn't refreshing because I've made a couple of changes real quick and it's not refreshing on the Twitch stream. There we go. Now things are moving around. Thank you. All right. I can move it by focus ping. There we go. All right. So, where do you go? Upstream or downstream?
So far, it's 1 for 1. One wanted to go north and one wanted to go south. Y'all pick.
All right, the party starts moving southward. You start heading south through this very rugged terrain. You're basically following deer trails and no trails. You're hacking your way through the bush with whoever has swords and daggers on you. The trees are pretty thick. Very quickly, as you're moving around, you know that it is. Your lungs are burning up here. You are tired. You are worn out. And within minutes, a freak storm blows in. It's not a calamari rain just yet, Goliath. Not a calamari. Not for a single bad weather redeem. It's just regular bad weather. Now, if somebody else wants to bad weather redeem,
Anywho.
The rain quickly picks up, the wind. You want to do another survival check to find some shelter ahead?
I'm not doing it this time.
You want me to do it?
No touch.
Okay, then you do it.
One of you's going to have to do it.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
We're bound,
It like
bound to get off that streak sooner or later.
It's not great shelter, but you do find at least a thicket of trees, like big pine trees, a thicket of pine trees underneath a couple of boulders that give just a little bit of shelter. You're tucked up in under some rocks, and the rocks kind of do one of these things. So you've got a little bit of shelter as long as the wind doesn't pick up in the wrong direction, at least allowing you to get in out of the rain and having a few feet of relative dryness. So you have shelter. Taking inventory of your supplies. You don't have a lot of supplies, though. You only kept one snake in your bags and a lot of snake heads. And to be honest, I don't think any of those snake heads that people grabbed and put into the bag were actually written into their character sheets. And as we all know, if it's not on your character sheet, it doesn't exist.
No.
My bad.
They must have disappeared when you touched the piece of the dead god.
Burn it.
Did Zinnia write those injuries onto her character sheet? Because
I did.
Recorded and it wasn't on there.
I did.
Darn.
Darn it.
So,
Thanks.
Nice try.
it is late morning to noon-ish. You guys did wake up kind of early-ish in the morning. But you've got a rough storm blowing in. You've got a little bit of rough-shorn cover here. You could weather out the storm, you could brave the storm, or you could do something else. Take a rest, see if you can get to feeling better.
I say we
Touch
rest.
a dog's pink belly.
Yeah, we'll rest up and then go out looking for food.
Is that weather the weather?
Weather the weather.
Would you rather weather the weather? Hey, Bree, Happy New Year to you too. All right. So during this storm, Bill, are you heading out to go try to scavenge some game?
Not till after the storm passes.
So everybody's going to stay in and huddle up for warmth.
Now, pine needles and pine cones make good little fire starters, and I think
They do, especially when they're soaking wet from the weather that happened.
Well, we have this like overhang. Shouldn't there be some blown up in here?
No, it's a clear spot. That's where you're laying down at.
I would like to, I guess, just scout ahead a little bit. Let everybody else rest up. I don't have any severe injuries or anything, so I just want to at least get a glance, see if I can find anything.
Sure. Roll me a survival. Really, just don't fail is the kind of the key thing. But roll me a survival. It's late morning, almost noonish. Dang, son, that's 2 successes. Yeah. So Verai, as your scout and wilderness ranger is huddling up underneath the overhang, you're like, I'm gonna go look around a little bit. You pull your hood down, you put your teddy bear on, get that extra set of eyes, and then you head out into the woods. Now, as you are scouting around, you do hear something over the sound of the wind and the rain of the storm popping in. And it sounds like deeper wind and rain. And as you get closer to it, it's a rather large waterfall. So now you've got the big ravine here on your right as you're heading southward. And there is a large waterfall of a river blowing off of this ravine down below. But also to the left, this river is coming down from the top of the mountain in its own waterfall. Maybe it's a snowmelt, maybe it's something else. But this waterfall is coming down from the mountains to your left. Now, tucked up about 10 or 11 feet up on the wall, you see some sort of alcove or an opening to maybe a cave or something a little bit larger that is just beside the waterfall. Not behind it, but just beside it. It looks like it might actually be relatively good cover in there. You can scout it out. You can head back. See something else.
I should scout it out before I go prematurely telling the party to, hey, let's go pack up and move through the stormy weather to get to something that may not even exist. So let me scout
quick
it out.
athletics check. Just a DC 0 athletics check. It's only a few feet up. You just have to climb up into it.
Athletics. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
What?
You scrabble up onto that. You take a good double jump leap up into it and find yourself up into this cave. So the cave isn't large. It kind of just loops in and really just does a bit of a U shape, and the other end of it actually is behind the waterfall. But you do see signs in this cave of use, of civilized use. Nothing that's been here recently, but you do find like some campfire ashes. You find some logs that have been in here, like logs and tree stumps that have been brought up here, like just be set around the ashes, like seats or something. You find quite a few like broken clay, maybe clay jugs or clay pots or things.
Are those logs dry?
Yep, it is very dry. It's humid, and there are definitely parts, especially nearer to the waterfall, where where it's a little fungusy and slick, but up in this front part of it,
Outside
it
is wet as hell, right? So I mean, if we could repurpose some of these old rotting or whatever logs, if they're at least like dried to some burning, then we've got warmth that we don't have in our overhang. So
yeah.
okay. Are there any other entrances?
So it's kind of a U shape. This whole cave. There's the front entrance that you saw, and then there's another, entrance behind the waterfall that has kind of been chucked
just
in.
making sure there weren't any other like alcoves I didn't see or anything. Okay.
Nothing that you notice.
Then I'll turn back and head to the party and report back in.
All right, you drop down from the cave, start heading back up the ravine again. Thornicius, after a little while, the not scout who did your scouting for you comes back. Hey, I found a really good cover.
Awesome.
Who's cold and wants warmth? Come cuddle. So, does anybody want to go get in a cave where there's apparently at least, marginally dry wood and, fresh water and cover from the storms?
Sounds good to me.
All right. You have to be athletic to make a jump. But it's okay. We can use Thornicius as a stepping stool.
Thanks.
We can help her up, I think.
She does not currently have any physical skill penalties because she has at least been treated. So she's got no penalties. It's just if she takes she takes a new wound, she gets all the wounds back.
So don't fall off the cliff.
Pretty much.
No pressure.
Or we can stay here wet and exposed and rain.
No, let's go. Easy answer.
Well, the ranger takes off, assuming everyone else does too. All right. The thief leads you down the path a little ways, and you again hear like that same description. There is a large stream coming down off of the mountain in some waterfalls. There becomes to a relatively decent-sized waterfall on your left here. There's a cave entrance near it, and it makes a little pool at the bottom of the waterfall before pretty quickly going off the edge of the ravine and falling down towards the actual deep ravine and towards the woods down there. Does somebody want to roll me a team athletics check, helping each other up into it? I'll just say we just need one roll. I don't need a roll from everybody. We'll just say one person rolls it. Whoever is helping everybody else. Ah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Good enough. One success. Good enough. You help everybody else get up in there. Somebody's up on top, pulling people up. You're on bottom, pushing people up.
Here's Anya. Let me help.
Oh, sorry. Is that still scarred from the lava you fell into?
Yikes.
Honk, honk.
Here, Thornicius, let me help.
I got a boost for you.
Yeah, got this.
So yeah, everybody makes it up into this cave. There is a little bit of a low whistling sound from the wind kind of running through it, but all in all, it's relatively dry, relatively safe, relatively warmer, and completely out of the elements. However, it is definitely raining outside.
Thornicius, keep that wood there.
I'll do my best.
So all the wood that's in here is like bigger, like people brought these up in here to be seats. So like tree stumps that have had some sanding coming out of them, and
Yes.
a couple of logs that have been dragged up there and smoothed out.
So I'll pull out my hatchet and I'll probably peel off some bark and use that to start with, and then
Yeah.
add tiny slivers of the wood as
Yep.
kindling.
You start up a little fire, warm your hands.
Dig through the pack, see what kind of rations we have left.
Sure, you start kind of taking an inventory of the supplies that you have, and
Can't eat that.
I mean, you got like a day or two,
Okay.
3 if you're really good about it.
So now that we're all here and we've got fire,
Which one of you is carrying the piece of the dead god? Okay, just checking.
all right. So can I do a, I guess an observation, or just like I want to just take a closer look at the walls, see if there are any like secret recesses or hidden doors or levers of any kind, or writing, since there's previous use in there. If there's any writing that we can discern.
Sure, go for an observation check. Is that 1 success?
I think
Okay.
maybe stop. Pause. Observation, sharp senses. I can re-roll one. Yeah, it didn't work.
With 1 success, you find what I've mentioned before. There's a couple of places where you could like tuck up in the wall. It's a rough wall. If it was super windy, you could probably go over here and get out of the wind a little bit more. But I mean, you find like some discarded clothing items, like a half rotted discarded shirt. And other just detritus that people seem to have left behind. But as you're looking through it, nothing in here looks like it has been, or everything that that you see in here has been here at least for quite some time. And what you do notice is there doesn't seem to be anything fresh, last couple of months. But you do see signs of regular usage, like these pieces of wood here have been here for maybe a year. Those have been here for like 5 years, sort of thing.
Can any of these clothing scraps or cloth or any of that, can it be kind of like converted into a torch, like wrapped around something and kind of like converted into some sort of like lighting, burning for at least a little bit?
Yeah, you could definitely convert something to a torch.
Okay, so I'm going to toss a couple of those scraps over to Thornicius since he's working with the fire.
I've also got in my pack some pitch that I was going to make flaming arrows with, and that was written down. So I'm gonna add that to the torch, which will make it last longer.
You don't need to light it yet
Sure.
if it's still light out, right?
Right. No.
Yeah, it is still light. I mean, it's
Preparing it.
it's dark from the storm, but there's still enough light to see. Plus your little fire that you've already got burning in there.
All right, just in case we've got something in case we end up having to stay here at nighttime or anything like that.
Right. You gonna climb back down? The other one is actually behind the waterfall. So like to get out of that, you have to like jump off through the waterfall. Okay. Sure. It is, I mean, it is around a corner. It is relatively private and isolated. Okay. Okay. Anybody else taking care of anything in particular while you're here, other than just kind of?
Doing my hair.
Singed.
Goliath. No, I don't think anybody's muted. Let me do a sound check real quick. Nope, my sound's coming through, so I'm going to assume everybody say something real quick.
Hello. Oh, Bob, keep playing.
All right, just Abertac say something.
I hear them.
Nope, they are not coming through. Nat, wait, they are not coming through.
I hear them.
We hear you on the Skype call. You're just not coming into the Twitch stream.
Maybe because they dialed out and dialed back in.
Could be. It could be, but I don't think there's something you can do to fix it.
That was just a guess.
I think this is going to be coming from Nat to fix that. Thornicius, will you do a bit of sound check for me too, please?
Check. 1, 2, 3. Check.
Okay, we can hear you, so it's just them. All right. Or just them. We can hear you, so it's just them. All right, he's looking into it right now. We love technical issues here. We're so good at them all the time. We get so many of them, you'd think we'd be experts by now. Yeah. So basically what's happening here is while he's fixing this, Abertac has kind of stepped around to the other side of the cave where the waterfall exit is, and is kind of just set down, and while he honors all of the bright gods and tries to honor them and protect humanity, he doesn't necessarily worship any of them. But in this case, where he's got the dead god, the piece of the dead god, they've seen some of these things. He's actually sitting down and taking a moment of meditation and silence, and kind of asking for some assistance and some guidance, and from the bright gods themselves, to help him and his party shoulder the burdens that they are being forced to carry at this time.
And I have an emissary from Bast right here.
You do have an emissary from Bast right here. All right, so say that again.
Sound check. Can you hear Abertac now?
Yes, we can hear you. We are good now. All right. Thank you, Nat. Appreciate it. All right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, do you not hear them? I thought I heard them. I heard them on the Twitch stream.
I could hear him too.
Yes. Goliath, can you hear me?
Yep, I think we're good. Okay, yeah.
Aha.
So, as you're sitting in this cave, all of a sudden, Tiber looks up.
I forgot he was.
I know where we are.
Okay.
Tiber's. Sorry.
Ooh.
Tiber's got the accent. Tiber has a little accent. Corin has the big
Corin
accent. Tiber says,
You're fine.
"Yeah, Corin definitely has the accent. Tiber is a little less of the accent." Tiber goes,
Those two.
"I know where we are. I've been here before. Yeah, we're in the mountain passes. We're in the Cretellan mountain passes towards the split between Ophir and Koth on that east side there. That's the damn haunted forest we've been talking about. Oh my god, I remember. So I was 9 or 10 or something like that. I went on a hunting trip with my dad. We stayed at a hunting lodge, and I maybe snuck out with some of the servant boys. I mean, we were all about the same. It's ticking off again. Dang it, that got loud. Oh, it's doing the modularity thing. Thank you for letting me know. It's just when I get loud, I don't know why the gain is messed up on that. He goes, I kind of snuck off with some of the servants' kids, and we ran off into the woods for a few days. Yeah, when we made it back, my dad hadn't even come and looking for me. I don't think he really cared. But the lodge master, he kind of whipped the servants and the kids when we got back, so I feel bad about that. But yeah, so like we were here for the better part of a summer. My mom didn't come, but my dad and my oldest brother and me all came down here. Now, Dad wasn't here very much though. He was mostly like meeting people and doing businesses, and he spent a lot of time. There's an arena near here. He was betting on gladiators at an arena near here. I never got to go to that. Not really my thing though, he says. I never did get to go there. I don't really want to though. Betting on people murdering each other, it's kind of the opposite of what I'm trying to do. Let's pay people to have slaves and murder each other. That's stupid. But my dad sure did like it.
Agreed.
If the weather were to clear, could you get us there?
I might be able to. And him and Tiber start talking a little bit. Like, do you remember where this was at? Well, how about it was down this way? Or they kind of start conferring back and forth as being the relative locals, and come back a few minutes later. Tiber's like, I think if we keep going south a ways and then head in, there's going to be a mountain pass that we can go into, and I don't remember very well. It's been like 9 years since then. But we're within a couple of days. I know that, assuming we take the right path. And then Corin says, that hunting lodge might be to the south, but the Hook Gorge Pass that we've been trying to get to, it's to the north, because it was between the Haunted Forest and the Great River to the north. Problem is, if these are the Crotoa Mountains, that's men don't really delve much into these here mountains. They're perilous mountains. But the dangers in these mountains, that's not just the mountains. It's much worse than just the terrain and the weather. They say the air itself seems to be pulled from your lungs as if the mountains were stealing your health, which you guys can kind of attest to. It's been very exhausting up here. They say that there's giants and trolls and serpents that make their lairs up here, and you can hear the battles between the gods echoing down the valleys.
Men might not dwell here, but we are women, and hear us roar.
Because I ain't got no idea how far away from the Hook Gorge Pass we are, but it was well north of the Haunted Forest, so it'd be some ways to the north. Don't know how much of a trek that'll be through these mountains, though.
Would be easier.
Tiber's like, yeah, well, the hunting lodge, just, it's a little southeast of here, a couple of days if we can find it.
So we get to the hunting lodge, restock up on our supplies, hopefully, and then we can head north, probably skirting the mountains in between the Haunted Forest and the mountains, ish.
Well, the Haunted Forest goes up to the mountains. Like, there's the big giant cliff ravine, cliff, river, forest.
Okay.
But that's a detour of at least 4 days. 2 days there, 2 days back to where we are, and then north.
Unless there's another pass or path that they might know how to take. And if you really wanted to do that and then try to avoid the Haunted Forest, you'd be spending another week going the long way around to get back to the mountains north of you.
More than that, Abertac, like, he's been real quiet, but because what's his Corin? Like, normally he would have just mocked Corin all over the place for get to the point, right? And he's somewhere else at the moment. And he says, this evil thing that we have found might fundamentally change what we need to be doing. I don't know that we in good conscience can carry this thing towards this sorcerer, where if we fail, we're just handing him doomsday in a bag. Abertac says, I don't have the answer here for sure yet, but it's something I think we all ought to be thinking about.
So do you think we should be heading to get away from our destination of the sorcerer?
I don't know yet, but I mean, it doesn't really affect like our next step, right? We need to get out of this cave into civilization one way or the other. You may not even want me to stay with you, he says. Like, it may be better for everyone if I take this thing out to the wilderness. And he just, there's a lot of stuff going on in his head, and
Corin says, we're much stronger together. When you get alone, you can get picked off, but with each other, we can watch each other's backs.
it's true, but are you willing to walk away from everything and devote your life to keep protecting this evil artifact and so that it doesn't fall into the hands of any
If
old...
that's what it takes to keep my family and my people safe, I can do that.
Well, we're pretty far removed from any kind of people up
Yeah,
here.
he gives Corin a respectful nod, like any bad blood between them is gone. But Corin says that.
The one thing that Corin has always been a protector guardian type.
Mhm.
Might not be the brightest, but he is the protector guardian, put himself between danger and those endangered.
So why don't we consider hiding this thing so that it's not found on us? Because right now, nobody knows we have it. Nobody knows where we are. Heck, we're having a hell of a time finding out where we are. But
sorcerers, I think, would sense this thing. I think that if this thing is out of the box, there's just too many people out there. They can have their servants of the darkness sense these kinds of things. It'll be like, it could be like moths to a flame. Or maybe nothing happens, right? But I don't know how they were protecting it down there in that cave.
If what the statue said is correct, it's been more than a millennium down in that cave, protected by that statue. But now that statue is crumbled, and that cave is exposed.
Okay, so we definitely don't want to put this.
Well, if Atlanteans created this problem, maybe Atlanteans could solve this problem.
The Archeronians created the problem. The Atlanteans stole it from an Archeronian sorcerer.
Well, if they solved it once, maybe they can solve it again. Maybe we need some Atlantean ruins or an expert on the history of Atlantis.
Well, if you put a couple of things together, the place where they were probably enslaved and building things and where that sorcerer was does sound familiar to the description of where you were being originally sent to.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
A millennia ago.
I'm afraid of.
Okay, then. So, what's the group consensus? Do we head south, get some distance between us and this potential adversary, or do we head north, scavenge food along the way, and head directly towards our goal?
You can take the much more dangerous path and stay off the beaten path. It could be longer, it could be shorter, but one thing's for sure, it will be more immediately perilous. Or you could go towards the ideas of civilization, find proper routes and passages, maybe make it faster, maybe find support, maybe be detected and make it slower. Who knows? Is he huffing and coughing? Oh, Snowy. Snowy.
Dornicius. You're muted.
She's okay. She has a bit of a cold.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
I'm always for off the beaten path myself because we just attract too much attention. As Abertax already said, we could be drawing things to us as we speak and don't even know it.
But if that's happening, I mean, the civilized folks aren't probably necessarily going to be the ones being drawn to you. The ones that have that sort of power are going to be drawn to you potentially wherever, as long as nobody knows.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's kind of 6 one way, half a dozen the other here.
So Xenia has put her vote in for civilization, and
I think that's fine too. I think that's the next step, no matter what we do. Evertech said, he does not know what he thinks yet, but he would welcome everybody's thoughts on it once we've had time to think a while.
so let's head toward the hunting cabin.
Do we want to mark our path that we got, like how we got here, or how we're getting from here to wherever we're going? That we needed to find giant hand in mountain again. We could.
Yeah, let's have Corin and the other kid kind of work that out on the map.
Tyra's like, I was 10. I don't know exactly where we are. I just know that I went to a hunting lodge in the mountains. Like, we went south down through Shamar, and then we skirted the southern edge of the haunted forest. I remember that because I was so scared. I was so scared of monsters coming out of the forest. And we came up into the mountains, but I don't remember. I don't know where we were. I just know that I've been in this cave before one summer when I was a kid.
Mm.
This isn't necessarily a very beaten path, right? So you getting to this cave was...
Usually waterfalls are big landmarks put on maps. Surprised this one isn't there.
It depends on the
Your
size
map
of
is
the
a
river.
much larger map. It's not like a map of this wilderness area. It's a map of the whole nation state.
It's fine. South end, it sounds.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to head out right now in the middle of the storm? Are you going to rest up till morning?
Rest up till morning.
Rest until morning.
Rest until
At
morning.
least watch guards or something, right?
I'll take first watch.
Maybe.
You'll take first watch. I'll take second watch after that then.
Teddy Bear can take third. All right. Then we will do that. First watch. Who's on first watch? Tharnicius?
Tharnicius, yep.
I need a number between 1 and 12, please.
9.
Unfortunate for you. For those of you who've played in my Dungeons and Dragons streams for my random encounters, if you get the number exact, it's a good thing. If you're 1 off, it's a bad thing. I rolled an 8.
Darn.
They were 1 off. Can I have an observation check, please, Mr. First Watch Guardsman?
Darn. Nah, I got it. I know. Y'all do your Hail Marys and say grace because I'm doing it.
I apologize in advance.
No, I apologize in advance. What? Oh, I didn't like that.
/R space 2D20.
/R space 2D20.
Enter.
Okay. Well,
Okay. One success.
One success, yeah. Observation. Well, wait. I got a 14 and a 3 for focus. Does that make it a 17?
No. Focus is if you roll that number or below, it counts as a critical success.
Oh, no. Okay. So 14 it is. Yeah, 1 success.
Do you
Oh,
have
I can
something
reroll.
from-
Yeah, I can reroll.
Creepiest look I've ever seen on Champion's face right there.
Darn it. I should have known when I was getting the stink eye. Okay, yeah. Let's re-roll that. /R. Hmm.
So /r space 1d20.
Yeah, that's what I thought I told it. What the world?
I am not giving you a 10 die 20 roll, sir. Not allowed.
I have no idea what I just did.
The rules state you can only roll 5 dice.
There we go. That's a success.
All right. 2 successes. As you're sitting around at the mouth of the cave, kind of tucked up and watching out, you hear some snuffling and sniffling and a bit of very low, deep-throated, growly roar. A sound of which you recognize, not like a roar of anger, but like a roar of just noising.
Mhm.
A sound of which you recognize. Little different tenor than the sound that you recognize. Little bassier sound, if you will, of what sounds to be like a bear down underneath the cave. You can't see anything in the darkness, but you hear some sniffling and scratching and growling.
I ready my bow and arrow and get ready just in case it becomes visible.
Okay. The first thing that becomes visible is a bear cub.
Aww.
Okay, that's cute. I'll let that be as long as it doesn't come at me.
And then a second bear cub.
Oh, that doubles the trouble.
And then a third bear cub.
That triples the trouble.
And then a mama bear, all in the opening near the cave.
Okay.
A really, really large and heavily scarred mama bear.
Okay. Well, I'm not effing with you if you don't F with me. Rule stands. So as long as they just keep walking by, we're good. If the smoke, hopefully, will drive them off because, wild animals don't like smoke, but we'll see.
This bear smokes 10 packs a day.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
By smoking the entire forest.
Unfortunately, it did succeed in its observation check. And you see the curiosity of it as it spots the nice, dry, warm cave and starts snuffling up to the bottom of the cave.
Okay.
As it stands up on its hind legs to sniff its snout in, this thing's head is above the bottom of the cave. The cave is 10 feet in the air. This thing is a good 15 feet tall.
Yikes.
Meaning you're almost eye to eye to it, and it's on the ground.
Fun.
That's a dire bear.
It's a dire situation is what it is. Fastest thought I could think of is to grab the torch, light it from the fire, and show it fire. Hopefully a wild animal seeing flame in its face will drive it off.
I'd allow an animal handling check.
Okay.
I don't think you have a lot of points in animal handling, even though you're a ranger,
Yeah.
wilderness ranger, but I'd allow an animal handling check to
Maybe it's not really an animal.
scare it off.
Maybe it's a totem.
Maybe Michael could counsel
You
it.
know what? I'm gonna take
It's like,
a fortune point
Okay.
here.
counsel it in your sleep.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a fortune point here. Two.
Are you still going to roll, or are you going to accept the 2 successes that a fortune point gives you?
I am going to roll 2.
No, I accept the
Roll then.
Oh
Then-
no.
Bear scare.
Why?
Because of
Why did you do this?
The chances are
Ladies
nil,
and gentlemen, he rolled 0 successes and a critical failure. After I even said, "Hey, you're going to succeed if you don't roll. Are you sure you want to roll?" "Yes, I would love to roll." Critical failure.
The chances of me doing that again, though.
way out.
So, you now have 2 successes
Not touching.
and a critical failure.
And
here's
the
the
rest of the
success. Yeah, and everyone else is still asleep. Here's the success. You do indeed scare it off. Wave, wave. Thump, 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 thump. Unfortunately, in scaring it off, you lose your balance and fall down out of the cave face. Now the big bear ran off. The little baby cub bears did not run off. They weren't scared off. You scared off the big one. Now chances are they're going to run off after their mama, unless they get curious about something like this strange meaty thing that just landed in front of them.
Do I still have the torch in my hand?
It landed beside you, close enough to reach.
Okay.
In
Grab
your
it
eyebrows.
and make myself as large as possible, waving and brandishing the fire, being loud, hopefully to wake somebody up as well as scare them off.
I'm going to need another animal handling
I'm
check.
going to spend another fortune, and no, I am not rolling.
You might want to this time. Okay. Well then, I will allow a 2-success animal handling roll to scare off the rest of the cubs without incident. You are battered and bruised from your fall, but nothing is... Well, let's just find out. It was only a 10-foot fall, so let's say that's this. Yeah, nothing is broken from your fall, but you are battered and bruised, and now at the bottom of the cave face. Does anybody wake up to yelling and rah, rah?
Do we have to
Do
make a
we
roll
need to
for it,
roll?
or can we just consciously wake up to it?
Just call it whether or not. Like,
And
Well,
Thornicius's voice going, "Wah-hoo-hoo-hoo-wee."
So I'm supposed to be expecting to be on call, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sleeping lightly anyway, so I would hope I would hear that.
sure.
Zhang is generally a lighter sleeper, so yeah, I'd wake up to the screaming and the bear growling.
Abertac is stuck in dark dreams.
And Xenia is in the sleep of a healing rest.
Yep.
Yep, she says.
If she doesn't get healing, that you can only get really with time spent resting and recuperating. Okay, so the two of you wake up to that, Zhang and Verai.
Also, our group doesn't have great insurance for Xenia, so
You see where your boy is supposed to be, and he's not there.
Insurance for you, so you need to
Um,
rest. I waved the.
But you do hear him yelling from outside the cave.
Yeah, I waved the flame over my head. It's just barely
Okay,
peeking over the edge of the cave. I'm over here. Help me.
I'll go over to the edge and investigate.
What are you doing out there?
Saving us from
You
bears.
see him limping and like holding his ribs. He's got a torch,
You wasted our
standing
torch.
in the rain.
Quit messing around and wasting torches. Here.
You wasted it. You should have seen the bear I just chased off.
You should have seen the other guy. Yeah, Larry.
It was this big.
I point to the mud puddle beside me, which is a freaking 1.5 wide paw print.
Quit drawing in the mud and get up here.
Tiber points at the other mud puddle beside him and goes, "There's the pea print too."
Not seeing any enemies, I will turn around and go to sleep. Go back to sleep.
You get back up into the cave. It's about time for second shift, anyways.
All right.
Go
So,
get
second
off there,
shift. Let's.
champ.
How about a number between 1 and 12?
We keep going both ends of the.
You make it through shift with nothing happening. I missed it by 1. I was this close. I touched it.
Kitty.
Shit house.
Change.
Good change.
All right, so morning comes. You are all awoken with morning coming on you.
Phrasing.
Been there.
Sure.
Done that. This is what
I
you want.
screwed that joke up. It was supposed to be dawn, not morning. But just pretend like I said dawn.
Doesn't
not
matter her
morning.
name.
It could go man or woman. It's an androgynous name. It is a non-binary name.
So we awake to dawn coming.
You awake to dawn coming,
Mm.
shining warmth into your faces.
No, it'll be the moon.
Well, Bonicius, ribs.
um, raw, meaty, undone.
Crom, how has the weather changed overnight?
The weather has cleared up at this point. However, as Corin has said, and as any of your people that have known in the mountains, weather in mountains like this can change at a moment's notice and without warning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we can at least, right now, you said it's cleared up, right? So we can at least...
At this moment, it is a beautiful, crisp, cold morning. It is summer, but you can see your breath on the air.
Do we have visibility? Like,
Yep.
Along the path or the valley or anything like that to kind of like look for roads, paths, signs of civilization, smoke in the distance from like chimneys, anything like that?
I mean, some sort of scout could theoretically, you know that people have come through here on a regular basis, so there has to be some sort of path.
Yep.
You could potentially have some sort of scout looking for signs of that well-used path.
So that means that Vera should probably go looking for it then.
Quit
All right.
rubbing your ribs. You don't need your ribs for your eyes.
Okay, I'll take the hint.
One success. I mean, there's not a lot of directions that you can go. You know that according to Tiber, it was southward and maybe eastward, but at this moment, really the only direction you can go, unless you want to climb the side of a mountain up where this river's coming from, is southward.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find specific tracks. Maybe they were here and the rain washed them away, or maybe they just haven't been here in 6, 8, 10 months. But from the description that he gave, at least it's in this general direction, the path that they would have taken.
All right, and I'll keep an eye out on the edge. You said we still have that cliffside on the other side, right?
Yep, the big deep ravine, yep.
I'll keep wandering over there every once in a while and taking a look down, making sure I'm not missing any switchback trails or anything that go down, that way.
Sure.
Do I need to make another observation for that? Okay.
No. So the party follows the guidance of their intrepid scout?
Yes. What we pay him nothing for.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Well, you do, for those of you versed in wilderness, you do see signs of bear tracks and bears like snuffing and rubbing on trees and stuff around here. Thankfully, you don't see any bear, because if there had been a bear, it probably would have been pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 15 feet tall.
Yeah, probably. Going down the way, going down kind of this path, after a good half a day's of travel, and you've looped back a couple of times, just kind of looking around, trying not to miss anything. But after a good half a day's travel, you kind of come to your first really point of interest. Like if somebody was giving verbal direction, turn left at the tree sort of thing. You kind of see the next point of interest that somebody giving verbal directions might have. And this point of interest makes the dire bear look small. It is what appears to be a skeleton of a great giant lizard of some sort.
Dragon.
Could be some. If the rumors of these monsters are true up here, it could be some sort of dragon, some sort of serpent. You don't see signs of wings, but but it's definitely not snake. It's not serpent. It's lizard, but not like anything you've ever seen before, considering just the bones of the ribs on this thing are large enough to stand upright in for a fully grown person.
What the hell were they hunting here?
These bones have been here. You kind of tap on them a little bit, and you really can't even tell if the bones are bones or stones. They feel like both. They look like both. Maybe it's just somebody's really sick joke of artwork, and they carved out bones out of some rock. These bones are so firm and petrified.
Can't get a clue.
They might have been here for 5 years. They might have been here for 500 years. You can't tell.
Can I get a claw free?
No real claws, just bones.
All right. Well,
You see where claws probably used to be, but there are no claws.
gotcha. Looking around from that, is there? Can I look around for like maybe a trailhead or something that would point us in another direction?
You do note a really awful stench coming from a blue-black burbling pit over there.
Ooh, blue black. Okay. Do we all want to check this out carefully?
The blue black burbling pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let you check it out.
Thanks.
Well, that might be a decent place to check that artifact of yours.
Well, the statue didn't even think it would be safe in a lava flow.
If it's tar or pitch or something like that, I mean, like maybe useful to some degree, but
Right. Like I was going to say, we could collect some of that if it was tar or pitch or something like that. So why don't I go and get a long branch and test the edge of it, see what's
Resistance check, please.
resistance check. Right.
Your resistance is 11 and 3, so pretty good. Pretty good.
Mm. Talk about me here.
Uh-huh. 11 and 3.
Oh!
A failure and a critical failure. Oh, I love it when you roll.
You need to play the lottery.
No, I don't. This is what happens.
A failure and a critical failure.
This is what happens. You know, I buy a ticket. The old lady behind me buys the ticket. She wins.
You get your stick, and
So
you
what you're
start
saying is we
heading
need to
toward
go
this.
to the lottery.
Together.
You start heading towards this blue-black burbling pit, and the closer you get, the worse it smells. I mean, you're already a little lightheaded just from the air here, but you start getting not just lightheaded but dizzy, and then the colors start getting really vivid and blurry, and
I'm going to aim to
So-
go backwards.
so guys, he takes a stick and he's like, I'm gonna go get some pitch, and he starts walking towards this thing, and you see him start to walk, start to stumble, and then collapse.
let me guess, he's gonna blame that on a bear too.
Yes, I'm definitely going to blame that on the bear.
He's just kind of collapsed on the ground, twitching and convulsing and retching.
Okay then, no point in checking out the blue black bubbling burbs.
No, but please drag me away from it.
So I'll reach over and grab his ankle and pull him face down away from the pit.
Resistance check, please.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
It's not
you
going.
knew it was coming. Somebody tie a rope to somebody.
Hey, there you go. That is enough of a success right there. You are able to pull him away, but 2 successes. You are able to pull him away. You know, you like hold your breath and put a little like cloth over your mask and grab his foot and pull him away. And you are able to pull him away. And you go to like the far side of this giant skeleton and start fanning him. And Thornicius, you come to. There is bile on your face
Nice.
and some of your clothes. The world is extraordinarily bright and vivid, and your lungs burn, and your head hurts like a mofo.
And I say the classic line, did everybody see that? Because I will not be doing it again.
Ooh. What is that? Is that like a pit full of black lotus juice?
Something good. Not good for me, though.
How's your breathing? Is your breathing? It hurts to breathe.
What breathing?
I found your lung.
Thank you.
Didn't Brigon explain that that was one of the symptoms of these mountains?
Mm-hmm. I think we can afford.
Yeah, I mean, Corin says that one of the things that he said was that the mountains seem like they try to pull the very air from your lungs as if they're trying to steal your vitality, was one of the things that he did say.
Kind of seems like this fits the bill, so this must not be a unique geological feature. Do we continue? Or do you really want to scoop a bottle of whatever it
I
is?
really don't want to be anywhere near that stuff anymore. I'll pass.
Okay. Then
Now, somebody can give me a survival check. At the moment, if you do it, Thornicius, you're going to be at an extra difficulty check, one extra difficulty just from recovering from what just happened after wiping your face off.
I suggest Xenia.
All right, I'll have to roll for her.
Yes, you should roll for her.
No.
Roll for her.
You know what? Xenia's going to burn a fortune too.
I didn't hear her say that.
Yeah, she did. She mumbled it. She's got a.
I'm in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So, point of fortune. Are you going to roll as well as that point of fortune?
No.
No.
No. No.
Absolutely.
Well, that is 2 successes because she does have 1 point in focus and survival. So, with 2 successes, you do actually find signs of a human path being used here. Coming to this point, you find maybe signs of like camping, nothing so severe and defined as you had in the cave, but you do see signs that people have stayed here for at least an overnight here as some sort of point of interest. And then they start heading southeasterly into the mountains.
Okay. So we'll follow that trail.
All right.
They sure as
I need an observation from anybody. Don't care. One person roll it.
Sorry, guys. I'm not taking that.
Their eyes rolling it.
I got good chances, but not at this point.
1 success. Good enough.
Can we roll one? Hang on. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So as you guys are walking, following this path, you see up in the sky, Vera, you kind of look up and you see a pack of birds circling around. Oh, those aren't birds. They're brightly colored. They have feathers, but they're like bat-shaped. And they've got these giant, like, protrusions on their head. And they are the size of a pony, not a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And there are several of them circling around over there, like diving down off of a cliff and then flying back onto the cliff and then diving down from a cliff and flying back onto it. Maybe a nest of some sort with the 2 observations, probably a nest of some sort up there.
Really?
They are predators of some sort. You see hooked beaks and hooked talons. You've never seen such a creature.
Yeah, I was just making notes of these strange creatures. So I see it. I'm pointing
You
it
can
out.
point it out to everybody else if you wanted to.
There's there they are.
Is it anything that I would have noticed or known?
Hey, look at those things.
I mean, you can take a look at it and see what I described. You've no idea what they are.
Okay.
That seems terrifying.
Let's give them a wide berth.
Yep, there are several of them, and each of them is, almost man-sized.
Anybody feel like roping one and seeing if we could break it?
Yes, yes, do
No,
that.
Let's not do that. I get wild. Never mind my intrusive thoughts. Let's go.
Following the tracks south,
Southeast, yes.
southeast.
Continue following the tracks. I do need a stealth check from somebody, as you are basically going right underneath their nest.
Damn.
So doing it in a method that kind of doesn't make you the target of them hopping down and grabbing things. Give me a stealth check.
Am I
Somebody,
rolling-
just one for the party.
Sneaky,
Am I
you.
rolling for me or for everybody? Okay,
Mm.
I will.
Yep.
So I'm the one that noticed them. I want to keep us calm, cool, collected. I'm going to burn a point of fortune to stealthify us all so that we don't get scooped up by these things.
Okay.
And,
Are you going to roll as well as that point of fortune?
Yeah, I'll roll as well.
Okay.
Oh, goody.
And I passed the curse on
A
you.
failure and a critical failure. Not just a 19 and a 20, folks. This is so many 20s that I've seen
Jeez.
so far. A 19 and a 20.
You
Yep,
did any
another
of those, Veri?
critical
Hang on,
failure.
I'm looking right now. Pause.
After saying, are you sure you want to roll that?
Hang on, what is this?
Let us hope that you can
I don't think I can re-roll them, but I gotta double check to see.
abilities, bonus momentum per rank. Oh, you can roll an extra dice though. You do get one bonus momentum, so you can roll a third dice.
Yeah, maybe we'll get another 20.
When armed with any weapon that has hidden note, when rolling damage with a hidden note. Okay, so you get one extra dice at least.
And if I'm helping him, can he get another extra?
That brings you up to 3 successes and a critical failure.
Yeah.
So
A complication.
a complication. A complication. I'm trying to think of a reasonable complication to have here, and I'm having a hard time thinking of a reasonable complication, to be honest.
He gets egg on his face, literally.
You know, they say it's good luck if a bird shits on you.
Ooh,
randomly.
I like that. I like
But
that.
a pony-sized bird could really cause.
Oh, that's
You
actually
do-
nicer than what I was going to suggest. We'll go with that.
You do bring the party around relatively unnoticed by these bird things. However, as you're moving through, a fresh, juicy, gray-white glob of something enough splatters all over you. Your face and your head and your shoulders.
Oh,
And it looks like somebody just dumped a bucket of paint on you.
oh, but it doesn't smell like paint.
It smells pretty awful.
So Thornicius is going to pass out again, is what I'm hearing.
It's like,
Now you bet you're hoping for the bad weather to get the rain to wash it off.
I'm camouflaged right now. It's not that bad. They're not going to go investigate their own pile.
Extra DC 1 difficulty if anything is using smell to track you.
Unless it's looking for bird turds.
unless it's looking for bird turds.
But you do indeed make it past these flying bird-like things a little further, and you continue forward a little while longer. I need another survival check now for following this footprint path a little further.
All right. I'll take the bullet. typing. Oh,
One success. Okay. You are able to continue to follow this footpath, and you're getting up on evening time now. At this point, you are very low on supplies. You've now kind of eaten and drank up most of what you had.
We
You
have
got
plenty of bird shit.
plenty of bird shit though. And these footpaths seem to
collect some of that.
he needs it for the guano. He's got to make some makeup.
hey, you know what? This does work for black powder. We got to dry it though.
It's yeah.
The path seems to go into this deep thicket of woods.
Mm-hmm.
Before we run into the thicket, I'm just going to turn to Abertach and inquire, like, how are you doing? You haven't said much. You seem a little bit, standoffish with, how are you doing?
Still trying to figure out what we should be doing with this thing, and how and when, and what the path of least danger is with it. Yeah, I don't mind telling you, I don't cherish the thought of taking it to right to a sorcerer. For all we know, we've been manipulated into doing just that. But I think we just need more information. I need a library. I need a librarian. I'm not a great reader. But there has to be information on whatever this lost god is. There's got to be something.
Okay, but carrying it's not weighing on you any extra or anything?
Doesn't seem to be, except the just my mind right now.
All right. Just checking in.
I've seen some evil, but this is probably one of the I don't feel like I've ever had a piece of the outer dark that I had to take care of and babysit before.
Want to cover it in back guano? Would that help?
Nobody will ever smoke.
Did it hide the scent, I
Tempting.
guess?
Tempting, but I would hate to look at it more than I have to. It's like double wrapped in a bag right now.
All right, fair enough.
But thank you for asking, though.
Can I? So Teddy's on my pack. Thornicius, can you check Teddy? Is he glowing? He does that sometimes when he's around other evil objects.
Look around. Let me take a look.
That's unsettling.
No, Teddy just seems to, it's little plastic eyes are still just there, and it's scorched and charred.
Okay.
Okay.
The ash that doesn't go away even in the rain.
So it's no more or less evilish than it always is.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Still, it unsettles you a little bit when you start looking into its eyes, though, because it really seems like those eyes are looking back.
Yeah. I've had that thing follow me around the room every once in a while. I don't like it. Don't hold it up in my face like that, Varai. It's not nice.
Yeah. Is it just me? Oh, weird.
It's what? Just you?
His
Yeah.
Verai's screen is frozen on my screen, but it's there. It works on Twitch, just not on my.
Yeah.
Not on my Skype.
Moving around on mine.
It's just on me. I don't know why. I have internet here. It's not the greatest internet of all time, but at least it works. So.
Nope, we're here.
Yep. Blinked out, blinked back. Now we're good again. So these footpaths do go into this big, deep thicket. And, it's getting on to evening time, and if there was a safe place, it's probably going to be in a good, protected thicket of woods.
Mm.
Makes sense to me. I'm not an outdoorsy person, but
Yeah, let's find some cover. Maybe we can make a quick lean-to or something.
Get our ranger to start us a fire.
You move on deeper into this thicket, following these footpaths, and you find a little clearing. There's a thick tree cover on top, blocking out most of the sky, keeping it nice and dim and kind of cool in here. It's already pretty damn cold because you're on the top of a mountain. But there's some misshapen boulders with like green-brown moss on them. The ground itself is like a soft, spongy grass. There's a thicket of trees all the way around, so deep that it actually seems kind of like an ideal little glade. Just those three or
Oh,
four
no.
those 3 or 4 big boulders with the brown green moss on there, the trees, the soft grass, and the thicket, and the tree covers.
Okay. Not saying I won't look at gift horse in the mouth, but I'm taking a closer look at those boulders, making sure they don't have legs. They're not going to rise up while we're asleep.
I'm glad that you and I think the same way.
Roll an observation, I
Okay.
guess.
Oh, geology.
Yeah.
Is there water nearby?
Yes, there is a small stream not far away.
Mother. I'm going back to another
Oh,
game.
any critical failures? Can you roll with what? Complications, I mean.
This is why I
And
don't.
yet another complication,
This is
ladies
why I
and
don't.
gentlemen. The complication king. Bruh, Goliath says. Bruh.
I am the situation.
Seriously, if this were any other game,
Any other game,
Yeah,
I'd
if
be
this were
doing
any other
great.
game, you'd be rocking it right now.
Which is why it's weird, because any other game, and I'm always at the other end of the spectrum.
So yeah, the party goes into this little alcove, this little thicket alcove here, and Thornicius starts staring at the rocks and like moving over at them and touches them, and they're warm. And he starts to pull away some of the moss to kind of clear out a space underneath it, and the moss is attached to the rock. And he gives it a good yank. He gives that moss a good yank. And as he gives that moss a good yank, the rock leans back and yelps and begins to stand up. And you see, instead of a boulder, a creature, kind of something almost out of a Jim Henson, a rock troll. The green brown moss that was on that rock, turns out that's its hair running down its head and its shoulders and its back. It's got like a mane of hair that just look like moss. It's curly and gross. And it leaps back and yelps as you yank on it. You fall backwards all of a sudden out of surprise and shock, just being bounced back.
Then I'm yelping.
And then the other 2 rocks also start to stir and rumble and stand up.
Not a good place tonight. Let's go.
Ah, damn. I'm not getting a bath tonight.
Nope.
So it yelped. Did it try to attack? Did it do anything else?
I'm giving you guys a moment to do something before like it finishes standing up here.
I am putting.
Is there a roll to see if we can recognize what this is?
Yeah, I would allow a roll of that. Probably lore.
That's what I was afraid of.
Lore.
like the best.
Sorcery, yes. Lore.
Yeah, I oddly enough only have a 9.
I'll go with lore. Yeah.
Y'all need to read up some more. You're supposed to be our bookworms.
Yeah, mine's a 9 too, so I guess I'll try it.
Does
The worst I can do
nobody
is roll
have
more 20s.
Does nobody have lore? Let's see. That's a 9. That's an 8.1. That's a 9. That's a 9/2.
No,
And that's an 8.
I
Wow.
got
Your
one
9/2
success.
is the best. One
I got
success.
one success.
Fairy tale creature of some sort. Jim Henson says hello.
and yeah,
I hide.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm running and hiding.
Sounds like sound advice.
Farai?
Hey,
I mean, stealth.
And Xenia?
Mhm.
Uh-huh. That's all I got.
Hiding?
Yeah, hiding.
I'm going to need stealth checks from everybody individually.
Oh, bummer.
As everybody scatters and tries to scatter before this thing finishes standing up and yelping. And his friends.
You know what?
Did I even?
Abertech gets 1 success. /R.
always do this.
Yeah. Habit.
Mother.
Zhang falls on his butt.
That wasn't
That was
me.
me.
Oh.
Again.
Again, with the 20.
Ornitius falls on his butt in
All
fear.
right, can I see a running count? How many critical, like,
That's
6 so
3
far.
in a row.
6? I thought it was just 5. Is it 6? Dang.
Like 5.
5 or 6 tonight alone.
I got a success.
Didn't I get
But
some kind of
Zhang
reward
gets
for
a success.
surviving?
Apertech gets a success. We still need a Verai and a Xenia.
Yeah, I'm working.
like I don't have to hide great. I just have to hide better than everybody else.
So,
Somebody.
Xenia did okay.
Crom, Living Shadow allows me to roll an extra. It
Let's
grants a bonus momentum per rank on attempts to remain unseen or unnoticed.
Right. So a momentum basically means a free dice. Like you were spending a momentum. That just gives you a free momentum point anytime you try to hide.
Okay.
So you get a free dice basically every time.
Unless, of course, his stealth thing has another use for that momentum, aside from just a free die.
2 successes. then.
So 2 successes. All right. And Xenia had 1 success?
Yeah.
Wait. Verai, that's just 1 dice. Where are your other 2?
No, I rolled above Abertac, a 16 and a 13.
And Pierce is through officers too.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
then
2
I was
successes.
just
All right.
confirming that third dice before I rolled the third one. I was just confirming.
So
So-
everybody other than Thornitius got at least 1 success. Thornitius got a critical failure. You didn't just not hide. When you got terrified, you clenched up and squeezed and grabbed onto the moss and are now riding on this thing's back several feet off the ground.
I'm gonna hope it thinks I'm its baby. Because otherwise I'm a dead duck.
Yeah. So rock trolls aren't known for their friendliness, especially when they get woken up by something yanking on their hair scarves. It is grumpy, it is angry, and initiative has begun. Y'all are the heroes. You get to go first. So I gave that
Yeah.
last bit was the surprise round.
Maybe
Here is a first round. It's probably going to be angry and stone troll smash.
maybe its vision is based on notion.
It could be. It could be. You don't have any evidence pointing otherwise.
They don't know where any of us are except for Thornitius.
Yes, thank you. Just throw me on the
Man.
bus.
So does it have anything sort of like traditional eyes, or is it a literal rock creature?
It does.
Rock-
It does. 1 second.
I will attempt to stun it by throwing a flashbang at it.
There's 3 of them.
Wait, there are 3. No, I thought it
Yes,
was
there are 3 of them.
Yeah, there were 3 of them.
How far apart are they?
It's not a huge clearing. They're all close distance to each other, but all of you are like short distance.
And as I'm holding on, I scream, "Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared."
Mom! Mommy! I'm scared!
Oh, leave it to us to find the troll sauna.
Leave it to moi.
Ah, fair. Yes, this is more accurate.
Told you to stay awake.
So, y'all don't pick something, they're going to get the initiative.
I'd
I'm
like
rolling and
to
running.
I mean,
stun them with flash power.
I thought the plan for some of us is just to try to stay in.
You're going to throw a flashbang.
And I'm dropping, rolling, and running.
Okay. Roll for the flashbang. And do you remember what page that is so that I can find it? Petty enchantment. Here we go. Blinding powder, page 164. Blinding powder. Is it blinding powder or exploding powder? Exploding powder.
Flash powder.
Sure, it's not blinding.
The main book has exploding and blinding. It doesn't have flash.
Probably blinding.
Okay. Probably blinding, but I could have sworn our book said something different than we had a small book, so.
Yeah, it's a blinding powder. Unless it's in
Yeah,
like the
let's go
actual
with-
sorcery book.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Because let's see, what did it have? Because I know we wrote down what it did, right? Gear.
It should be in abilities.
Nope.
Exploding powder, 33 under abilities, petty enchantments, alchemy.
It's not exploding powder.
Oh, okay. Petting it. Okay, I see now. All right. Strength varies based on ingredients and difficulty to manufacture. 2/+1 difficulty area and fearsome. So that is an exploding powder because the blinding powders have different effects. The exploding powders have area and fearsome. And then the
Well, he
two
wrote area and fearsome on this one on his sheet. I think he just called it the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's exploding powder.
Yes. It's a mini grenade. Exploding powder is a
Yeah.
grenade. So you tossing that?
Yep.
Toss it.
One success and one complication. Although, actually, let me just reroll damage dice. Reroll 1d20 when making an alchemy check. If that counts as an alchemy check or is it thrown?
That was a thrown attack.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't have a reroll for a thrown, so ranged, yes. So, one success and one complication.
All right, roll damage, please.
No.
How many damage dice do I do that? Because it's not a damaging attack, so to speak. It's
a damaging attack. So the for the exploding powder, the damage is determined by how difficult was the check to create the exploding powder. So
it says right here 2+1 per difficulty
right,
level.
a
So
difficulty 0 exploding powder does 2 dice worth of damage. And for every difficulty increase, it does 1 more dice of damage. So a difficulty 1 does 3 damage. Difficulty 2 does 4 damage. Difficulty 3 does 5 damage.
it's just a baseline 2 then.
All right. Then roll 2 damage dice. Yeah, roll 2 damage dice.
Can't wait anymore. Starboard.
2 effects, though.
6 and 5.
Area and fearsome. So you do 2 points of damage. You hit 2 creatures, 3 creatures. So they take 2 physical damage, 2 mental damage. And Thornicius is one of those 3 creatures, taking 2 mental damage and 2 physical damage as you get dragged up on this monstrous stone mossy troll thing, and then immediately something explodes at your shoulder, scattering ash and powder and flame into your eyes and body.
And I said it couldn't get any worse.
But 2 of the 3 trolls also took 2 physical, 2 mental damage.
Well, so much for seeing if they were going to be peaceful creatures. So now that they're attacked already, yeah.
Now I'm going to take my action. I'm dropping off of this thing and rolling and then running.
Acrobatics.
Yes, sir. And
No successes?
hold on.
I think that's 1 success. 1 success. You have a 14.
Yes.
1 success is enough to wait a minute. Oh yeah, 1 success is enough to drop and roll, tuck and roll.
Okay. Trying to get that.
I mean, you're not getting out of the alcove, but you are
At least.
landing on your feet at least and not losing your actions and your defense bonuses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Verai? Xenia?
What's my range? What's my range?
Short.
Okay. I'm gonna. That didn't attack us outright, but especially since Thornicius is out in the open, I'm gonna at least like shoot an. I'm gonna pull my bow and shoot an arrow at the one that he fell off of, just to
Okay.
hopefully at least distract it long enough for him to get away. Create like an extra beat for him to, hopefully get a few extra steps in.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
Roll a 20. Roll a 20. Because a 1 is a critical success, a 20 is a complication.
1 success.
1 success. I mean, that's enough. It's not like it's dodging or anything, so roll for damage.
Okay. It's been so long since I've used a bow. 5 dice.
Let's see. She is geared. Yeah, you have 7 damage dice on your bow. Like, you're really good with that.
7?
No, that's Thornicius.
Yes.
Verai,
Okay, 5.
you have 5 damage dice on your hunting bow.
Okay. I can re-roll the 4 and the 3. Give me a sec. Let me verify. Accurate. When attacking with ranger, maybe re-roll rate damage. Yes. So I can re-roll 2 of those.
Good rerolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. 1 of them being an effect. The effect was Unforgiving and Vicious 1. So 6 total points of damage. You do sink that arrow into the stone flesh. And it does do damage.
You're muted or I've lost you.
Am I
Can't
still
hear you.
stealth at this point?
Yeah, you're.
I mean, it's going to know that it might not see you, but it knows where the arrow came from.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just asking the question.
Yep. Abertech? You're muted.
I'm going to stay hidden while these guys run, and then run while these things chase them.
Okay. And is Zinnia staying hidden, or is she diving in?
I'll dive in.
She dives in, she says.
All right. Well, then roll me an attack roll.
No touchy.
No touchy, she says.
No touchy. Yeah, you get a lot of critical failures.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they know who is in front of the thing. Like, oh, it's Bill again. Let's throw another 20 his way.
I'm gonna use my swords.
At this
Okay.
point,
Yep.
use your chakra.
Chakra.
Yeah, you're at range. Let's.
No, she's going to use the sword. She's diving in with the sword.
Okay, down.
Stabbity, stabbity, doom.
Okay.
She's trying to give her friends some cover here. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, that's 2 successes, which is 1 more than you need. You generate a point of momentum.
Can I use it?
So roll for damage on that.
Get rid of it.
For those fancy swords, it is 5 dice worth of damage. So roll 5 dice 6, please.
Hold on. Okay. Yep. Backswitch. Now hit enter.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage. One of them effects being armor piercing. So 7 points of damage with the armor piercing. Yeah, you take a good slice straight out of this thing's leg. Like, it tries to turn and you're slicing right up its leg. Not enough to deal a wound in a single blow, even though you did 7 with armor piercing. They are rock creatures, but if you had done 1 more point of damage, it would have been a wound. However, you do get a free second attack if you spend a point of momentum.
Yeah, she just earned a momentum. Why don't you go ahead and do your second?
She did just earn a point of momentum and gets another attack.
Oh.
Yes, she gets another shot.
It's only one of us who can.
So, yep, give me the 2 die 20, 15, and 14. I think you have got a 14 on melee, though, don't you? Oh, you've got a 12 on melee.
Now, there's the rookie numbers. We need to bump you up.
It's Thornicius numbers.
Yeah, okay. So, unfortunately, the second swing is deflected off of its skin, off of its tough skin. But that first swing dug pretty deep. So, Abertac, you're staying undercover, right?
Right now, he thinks the plan is to book it. But
Well, 1 arrow came in, 1 grenade came in, 1 mercenary queen came in.
all right, if that is what we're doing, okay. We'll take a hammer to a troll then.
Hammer that troll in. You have a 14 and 3 on your melee.
2 successes.
Bam.
All right, 2 successes enough. Generates 1 point of momentum.
Hammer time.
Vicious 2 and knockdown. Your Warhammer, right? Yeah, he said hammering. Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I will spend that momentum to activate Blood on Steel to give increase the vision's quality by 1.
All right. Oh, shnikes. That means you have Vicious 3 now?
No, all 4s. But I can reroll 2 of them. Didn't help much. This is some shitty rolling.
That's
Whatever.
terrible rolling.
I know,
1,
whatever
2,
Thornicius has
3,
must be
3
contagious.
points. So 6 total points of damage.
Pernicious, you are infecting us.
6 total points of damage. Well, you do get a solid blow, but I mean, like, this thing feels like it is hammering steel or hammering rock. Like, you just smashed a granite boulder, and your arms are ringing, your hands hurt from hitting it so hard.
I blame Pernicious.
But you do see some chips of rock fly out. You definitely took a chunk out of it. Maybe not a big chunk, but you took a chunk out of it. And that makes it their turn. However, ladies and gentlemen, we are at our time for the night, so we will be returning next week with the trolls getting their round. The rock trolls, stone trolls getting their first round, the Jim Henson trolls. So stick with us. We got a lot of stuff coming up this rest of the week. Now that all the holidays are over, we are back in full swing. Let's see. Tomorrow at 8 p.m., we have Edenia Season 3. I don't have a descriptor on there, but it is Edenia Season 3. Thursday, we aren't having anything. However, Friday, we are back at 6 p.m. Eastern for Cookie Trek, Echoes of Allegiance. As the fragile balance between peace and conflict with Romulan Empire teeters, the crew delves into the complexities of loyalty and duty amid a high-stakes diplomatic confrontation aboard the USS Fanservice. Come and help tell the story or make an entirely different one this Friday with Simon T. Cat and Rufus T. Robot on Cookie Trek. Sunday, 9 p.m., Tomb of Annihilation, Uncounted Eggs. Shrek's got short-term memory loss. Aladdin has a new kobold follower. The Cure has some more masks. And Kenneth has jokes for days. Oh, and Jaeger has the corpse of a massive boarhead to examine. And Scrod has a game of I Spy to finish. Join us Sunday to see what lies within the sarcophagus of the frog hymneth god, Kubazan. Next Monday, 8:30 Eastern, Star Trek Back in Business, the 76th Rule. The crew is surrounded as disparate groups of mercenaries converge on the ship. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a raid going in. Come join our next group, the Mini Terrain Domain. Be cool, emote, talk, have a good time. Don't be dicks. And we'll see you next Tuesday. With that, we love you. Good night.
See you guys.